Well, hello there. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Blake News. I'm your host, Bob Ryan, Blake O'Brien, and never friggin' lying. Couple things to talk about today. The first one, an incident that was quite frightening, frankly. Scared the bejesus out of me. Happened right here in my own home. On my property, at least. What had happened was I'd walked my dog and noticed my sidewalks were quite slippery. Here in Edmontonago, the most beautiful friggin' place on the planet, we've been blessed with a sheet of ice to cover our great city. I'll take that over the cold snap any day, but that's not the point. The point is, I went to go get some sand to put on this said sidewalk in places that were just a bit too icy, I felt, for the public. So fine, I go to the garage and get my sand, because I don't use salt. If you own an animal and use salt, you're an interesting person. I grabbed my sand and continued to walk out to the spots of sidewalk that I knew needed it most. Then I heard a scream. Ah! Startled me. Ah! What the hell's going on here, I think. I look through the pine trees. It's getting dark. I can't really see. What's happening? Well, as I emerged from the trees, I see on the ice 2 skid marks 1.5 feet long. Huge. Huge. And I look to my left. I look to my right, and I see a woman walking away. She must have almost ate shit, and I wouldn't have been able to see it. So I asked, "Excuse me, are you okay?" No response. I asked again, "Did you almost fall? I'm sorry." No response. Till I looked up and saw her head. Big earphones on, big ones. Just the biggest friggin' headset you could get. She couldn't hear a damn thing. There could have been a wolf chasing her and she wouldn't have even known. She's too busy listening to the Gagas and the Lady Kiwis, the music world. Hell, maybe she was listening to Aerosmith, and that's totally fine. But to not hear your surroundings sounds quite dangerous to me. Anyways, I continued to sand my walk, get rid of that nasty ice. And then I thought to myself, that's the first time I've made a woman scream in over 2 years. Thanks, COVID. Lonely old newscaster. On to the news here in our great city of Edmontonago. In fact, all of Canada, our great country. Inflation is on the rise. Shit is getting expensive. There's no way around it. Shit is getting expensive. This has many reasons. I'm not going to dip into all of them, but what I can tell you is I'm going to have to buy a soccer mom van just to get to the grocery store, just to afford the gas. Hell, when I get there, will I be able to afford the 4-liter milk jug in its nice plastic container that keeps cold from the store to the home, my soccer mom van? Or will I have to dip down and get the 2-liter? The 2-liter encased in that thin wood, or that scientifically modified cardboard that they put it in. Thick plastic cardboard mix. I don't know, but it gets warm faster and it doesn't taste the same. Just things that we have to deal with in this first world country. High milk prices. In light of news, I've gotten back on the ganja. Back on the ganja. Still sticking away from everything else. But life proved to be not as fun and a bit more headachy. So I smoke the odd joint here and there, why not? The only issue with that is, now when I go to the munchie store, it costs me $40 instead of the usual $20. Thanks, inflation. Also, it's getting quite tough to bring Baxter into the store. Just with these mask mandates, I don't know how to... I've gotten a mask on him once. Or maybe it's because he's 90 pounds. Not sure. In other news, the cold spell has been broken in our great city of Edmontonago. The sheet of ice, hopefully receding. This brings great news to everybody that wants to go outside. The people that aren't stuck on technology. For the people who want to go outside, I went and visited my neighbor and let the dogs play. Her dog looks much like a human. The damn thing, his name should be friggin' Greg, or George. George the dog, probably. Anyways, as they're playing a game of, hey, I'll rip your fur off first, I was talking with my neighbor. She's a pretty thing. But what I noticed is she was wearing leggings and a croup top. Croup top? It must be croup top. A croup top spaghetti shirt. And I said, holy crap, we're getting closer to summer. We're almost there. fantastic. Then her boyfriend came out and gave me a funny look, so I diverted my attention quickly to the dogs playing I'll Rip Your Fur Off First. It was grand. It was grand. Another story reaching my ears today. FaceChat. Oh, sorry. Instabook? No, Bookface. Bookface. Must have been Bookface. They say to delete all facial recognition programs. I did not even know that Bookface had facial recognition programs, but now I do, and they claim they're going to delete them. Are you freaking serious? They're going to delete the only thing that makes them money. Shut up. Shut your face. They're going to advertise the crap out of you once they know what you like, who you like, what you look like, and every other friggin' like that you do, because that's all you do on Facebook is friggin' like. You like some more. Anyways, I talked to a geek today at the dog park. Wonderful man. His name was Martin, I believe. Yes, Martin the geek. And he told me that there is a megaverse. That's not right. Metaverse that this Bookface is coming out with. The crazy looking man has done it again. He's invented a piece of technology. And with this Bookface metaverse, you can put on a headset. This is all Martin say. I don't know if this is true. You can put on a headset, invite people into your home via the headset, and I'll play in a little headset on your face. Everyone's gonna hang out, but through a headset on their face. Social interaction is going out the window. Inflation is rising in our country, and you need to put a mask on your freaking dog to get into the store. Some things just might need to change. With that metaverse, does that not mean that if you want to hang out in your house in a virtual world, that you would have to videotape your entire house? With that, do you not have to videotape yourself to get your character on said metaverse on the Bookface? Too little the great people try to avoid such things. Go outside. Pick up a friggin' hobby. Go do something. Anyways, another issue, the last issue, is this working from home thing. It's quite sad. Lots of people do need to work from home. I get it. It's the way of the world. But if we start having 50% of the country working from home, do you know what happens to little towns when people want to work from home? They take their job in the big city, they take the paycheck they get from that big job in the big city, and they go to a little town because they want that lifestyle, and that's fine. Go live in the little town and live the lifestyle. Hell, that's what I want. I don't want to, I know I like looking good and stuff, but I don't want to wear a suit all the time. No. What I want is to live in said small town. However, a great man told me this. Bringing that big paycheck from that big city into small town, affording a house is easy. The housing market drops substantially. But what happens when that small town of 1,000 people who all have jobs in the community, keeping this small town running in a level area, everything is balanced. When all the houses start getting bought up from these people who just need a good internet connection to make their living, they run out of houses in this small town. What happens when you run out of something? The demand goes up. The supply goes down, demand goes up. What happens when the demand goes up? The price goes up. Now you've taken a $250,000 single floor bungalow and you've turned it into $500,000. Now how is little Timmy at the friggin' store, working at the general store? Maybe he made it to manager at the general store. He's bringing in $25 an hour. Little Timmy's 23 years old, $25 an hour. I want to buy a house, Timmy says. I've got a girlfriend. I've got a dog. I'd like to have a kid. I want to buy a house. My rent's already $1,400. Could barely afford that. Now my mortgage on a house in this small little rural town is going to be $2,000 for my friggin' mortgage, man. Give your head a shake We need to start getting people back out into the world. Build the immune system up. Go get a friggin' cold. Jesus, Murphy. Disgusting. The world's getting sadder, but we will shine brighter. Everybody stay friggin' classy. We love you, Edmontonago. We love you. I'm Bob Ryan, Blake O'Brien, and never friggin' lying. You have a good night.